Now, honestly, I don't know why I have never tried this before. It's a really amazing pick. Sometimes you're just blind to the obvious, but Ziggs feels like an outrageously strong support. He was a strong APC bot lane pick due to his ability to essentially instantly clear waves and be relatively safe. However, he has fallen a bit due to the ideal bot pick changing. And that's our Q, baby. We're going to swoop him up in that draft and bring him to the support role. He is a good poke support, but he has a distinct advantage that other poke supports don't have, and we'll take a look at that in a bit. We'll just get this Demolition's Pyromaniac on the Rift, and it's ready to treat the bot lane to some damage. In half of the games I played, I did the most damage in the game, and in the other half, I did more damage than all of the enemy team. In those games, just some of our team was just doing even better than we were. Now let's get into it. Your biggest advantage being a controlled mage is your damage and your zone control. Your bombs deal a lot of damage. Your W and E are also good ways to stop your enemy from entering certain areas that you don't want them to be in. Now, when you do look at his scaling numbers, Ziggs actually doesn't have the best scaling out of any of the poke supports, you know, like Lux, Xerath, Brand. However, his cooldowns are far lower than theirs, and in some cases are even half that of the other poke supports. Now, this is where he differs from the other poke supports. He is fantastic at pushing waves. Not only waves, but also towers. Your Q and E will deal a ton of damage to oncoming waves, and your passive will deal bonus damage to towers, and your W will execute towers. And with this push potential, this can lead to quite an early advantage if you're able to push the enemy laners. Now, sometimes that's good and sometimes it's bad. Worst case, you end up pushing later in lane, and then you get that sweet, sweet tower gold. Now, honestly, Ziggs is pretty simple champion to pick up, especially if you played a lot of control mages. But one thing you should know, do not pick Ziggs if the enemy has a Camille. Of all the games that I played, the only losses were when the enemy team had a Camille. I mean, it really wasn't just Camille. It's really just champions that can engage from extremely far away, go over walls, and then deal some burst assassin damage. Now, I'm partially at fault in those games for not picking up an early Zonias, but still, Kayn, Camille, Talon, those picks will just make you sad. Now, for your runes, I'd usually pick First Strike for any sort of poke champion. However, we're gonna go Comet for the additional damage to make up for those scaling issues, Mana Flow for even more bombs, Transcendence for even more bombs, and Scorch for just a little bit of additional early damage. Then for our secondary tree, we're going to do Magical Footwear for some free kicks and Biscuit Delivery for some nice snacks. For your build, I'm sure you already know, we're going to build damage mage stuff. Zaxax for our support item, Boots, Ludens, Storm Collar, Storm Razor. No, Storm Surge. You don't need Archangels, but you can pick up a tier in the early game for some early mana and just complete it if you feel like it. Zonias if you're going to be bursted down. I picked up a Leandre's in a heavy tank game. You can try and vary your build a bit, but the things that really stayed consistent in these games were Zaxax, Boots, and Ludens. If you want more off-meta content, please subscribe. If you're liking the video, give it a thumbs up so others can see it too, and let me know in the comments below what you think of this pick. And that's it. We did it! We're in the game, and you know the spiel. Map, mixed drinks, alcohol joke. Now, we are a Jhin Ziggs bot lane, and we spend basically the first 4 minutes of the game just throwing bombs at the enemy. Then for some reason, when the smolder is low, he looks at his Shaco and is like, yeah, now's the time to engage. Now, hey, this could have been the Shaco's fault, but this just traps him into a 2v1 fight, and because we have barely taken any damage, he just ruins himself. And because of that misplay, we get a nice play, and I know it's early in the video, but it's still time to overstay. It's cool, guys. It's cool. The Jhin dies. Don't worry, boys. We're safe. Now, we're just going to go to this next fight. We throw bombs at the enemies between these fights. Just use your imagination. And honestly, in these early fights, we completely outrange them, so they really can't do anything about it. Then, after a bit more time, we do another overstay moment. This time, it's not okay, because we're the one that died. But I guess we get a return kill, so it's fine. Once everyone's level 6, the burst can come very quickly from either one of us, and our Jhin feels that wrath. We try and save our Jhin with the W to knock away the smolder, but it just doesn't knock him far away enough. But luckily, our jungle is here at the exact time to clean up the Shaco, and I throw a minefield, have a pixel-perfect sidestep, and get out. Honestly, there's a ton of fighting in this game. Let me just update the track here. Haha, much better. Now we're pretty much under a tower, and the smolder makes a grave mistake, and it doesn't matter to us. We're just gonna take that kill on the bratty dragon, then also kill the clown. We push up again, then just like a bad record, we're gonna continue on our cycle of overstaying. Have you seen a theme here? But once we're back in lane, we've already taken all the plates, so at this point, all we have to do is just walk up, throw down a bomb to finish making our bridge.
what, 10 seconds.
We immediately head up mid, assist in a kill, see that the TF looked at us wrong, and show him who's boss. Then we take this tower as well. Now there is a fight in between this clip and the next one, however, it's at the caliber of what would be in an iron game, so we'll just move on from there. Twisted Fate, for some reason, looks at me, looks at his health bar, then looks at the minefield and thinks, it is definitely a good idea to walk through this ability, then take a bomb to the face. However, we can't really say much, because we're just as smart and we overstay for part 4 of our series. But in my defense, I did not expect to take 550 damage from one Shaco E. And what's this? Another fight breaks out. We deal some damage, take some damage, then wait, that ain't Falco? That ain't Falco! And I know this has been a long-going series, but we can't end it on a cliffhanger. We're going for one more overstaying, baby, just for good measure. Another long, drawn-out fight commences. Our Jhin gets a nice W and auto-attack combo on the clown to put him in a nice kill range for our bomb. Then we have a bad time from behind, but the Silas loses his life for that. Literally respawn, go back, and we are still fighting for that same dragon. We get a kill and walk away. Well, escape attempts are done, but we still do get away. Then as we're walking down mid, we notice that our Yasuo is being a nice distraction in the top lane, and we decide to take this opportunity to show the whole enemy team why we are picking the Ziggs push support. And that's it, we did it, we won the game. And if you enjoyed this video, check out another one as we save our ADC with one of the best ult champions in the game. Talk to you later.